This is Coach Sadiq with 210 Fearless Sports with my MSAC training program, MSAC, Muscle Speed Agility Conditioning. And we're going to talk about today blocking techniques. And remember, this is for youth football, okay, which is really unique when it comes to coaching. Now, as far as this drill in particular, this right here is to remove fear from certain athletes or the inability or unwillingness to block. What you do is you give them a bag as a barrier. It's one of my techniques, which actually helps them as a buffer. It's like a second blocker. Now, some linemen have a fear of blocking or they can't seem to catch the technique of blocking. So what I do is I put a barrier or a buffer, which I use is actually a tackle bag. It keeps the rusher from penetrating the interior. Now, what this drill here shows them is that you can indeed keep a rusher from penetrating your interior. And what the bag does, it acts as a buffer where the rusher has to actually step over. So it's like giving them a second blocker or a second helper. And this will get them comfortable with keeping people out of the interior. Now, if you watch the drill, you notice that the rusher had to stay within the parameters of the bag itself. And this actually helps them so they don't feel so overwhelmed, okay? Now, after a while, what are you gonna do? And they're gonna have to keep them out like this. These are the same parameters, okay? These are the same parameters. But for now, we're using the bag. Let's go one more time. Now, what I showed here is constant foot motion. Okay, you got to keep the hands extended. Keep the hands extended. We're not doing the bridge technique right now, okay? What we're doing is trying to keep the rusher from coming into our interior and messing up our kitchen. The OT has to keep the defensive end or the outside linebacker from inside the kitchen, which is the interior. What they do is create a pocket for the quarterback so that the quarterback can cook and he can work. So on this drill here, what we're gonna do, we're gonna extend it for the rusher. The rusher has these parameters, and also the rusher can come across his right edge. Okay, that's my left. Now, one of the ways you remove fear from athletes when it comes to one-on-one blocking, whether it's up blocking or you just protecting home, okay? Well, line them up with a player that's their size or even smaller if they're big and timid, okay? And then you can slowly increase the skill level of that player that's their size. And you can also go a little bigger once they get the technique down. And this is how you work the fear out of it. Things like bull rings and all kind of things like that are really not the way to get the fear out of players, okay? What it does is it actually traumatizes them. So you don't want to do bull rings and things like that, especially at the youth age. What you want to do is take them through what I call progressions, okay? And if you don't know progressions and you get with a trainer, it's best that you sit back and learn from that trainer instead of inputting too much of what you already know how the end result should be. Because progressions is a way to take a child from 0 to 100 gradually. Now, this drill right here is to teach a guard, offensive tackle, or even a tight end how to seal. Now, one thing you need them to do is to initiate contact with the bag. And what you want them to do is 1, 2, okay? The initial one is 3. You run up, 1, okay? And you want to go 1, 2, okay? Now, of course, we want them to block more than 3 times. We want them to pop more than 3 times. But that 1, 2, 3 is enough for our running backs to get out, whether they're sweeping or they're diving. It's enough for them to get out. And of course, a running back is supposed to run across the back of a blocker and not into the blocker or away from the block or into the tackle itself. This is a 1, 2, 3 seal technique that I find very useful for youth, and you might want to use it yourself. Like I said last time, short and sweet. These are some simple techniques. Some of them for you experienced coaches may be too basic, but they're up-and-coming coaches that their children have just become of age, so they volunteer to coach. Things like this really benefit them. I said it 1,000 times and I'll say it again. An NFL coach can't necessarily coach youth ball. Same with a college coach. It takes a special mentality to coach youth ball. And whatever position a coach puts your athlete, I can work with them one-on-one in order to improve them and get them actually in the game and productive. We can go through the processes of teaching them how to be better at their position and more productive. This has been Coach Sadiq for 210 Fearless Sports and MSAC Training, MSAC, Muscle Speed Agility Conditioning, And I'll be making more videos, as I mentioned before, short and sweet, and I hope you benefit from it. Thank you.